Hey, I'm TJ Greaney, founder of Kids Outdoor Zone, KOZ. And there's a couple of things. So we're an outdoor ministry for the men of the church. The men of the church use our material to meet once a month with a group of boys at their church and in the community and mentor them using outdoor adventure, using fishing, teaching them how to shooting sports, teaching them archery, teaching them outdoor skills, maybe tools, whatever it is, whatever the curriculum is for that month. So we train the men in the church. It begins with the Friday night. The men and their wives get together and watch a video that we've created. And it's imperative that the wife knows the level of commitment that the men are making before they go into the ministry. So the wife's not planning something on that one Saturday a month the men are supposed to be with the boys, mentoring these boys. The boys have enough men walk out on them in their lives that they don't need another guy not being able to make it because he had to go to a birthday party or to visit his mother-in-law. Love the mother-in-laws. And then Saturday they do about a 6-hour training video and workbook. And what they do is they pick one Saturday morning a month from 8 to noon, 8 to 1, and they get the boys in the community. Now we focus primarily on fatherless boys, but we also invite the fathers and sons in. So one thing is I'm so hard on guys that just have a father-son ministry because half the boys in our world, as so many of us know, don't have a man in the house, don't have a dad. And so when we announce at church the father-son camp out, the father-son event, half the boys are thinking, well, that's not me again. Once again, I'm getting left out. So I want to encourage you, anytime you do father-son, invite the boys that don't have dads. But we encourage these guys to go out and find the boys without dads in the community, but invite the fathers and sons into it as well. A boy without a dad on a Saturday morning watching a father and son interact and how that looks and how that works is really healthy. Now we have an acronym that we use in our program that really gives us some bandwidth to understand what all we're accomplishing, what all these men are accomplishing, and it's called FOMJ. And we've tried to come up with something like, that was a word that matched something, I don't know, but FOMJ is what it was, F-O-M-J. And the first one is fatherlessness. So we all know that the fatherless epidemic is affecting us all across the board in so many areas. And our ministry is effectively creating mentors once a month in the lives of the boys. It's not a one and done. It's every month. These boys know they're going to be around these men, and these men are going to be able to get to know them and pour into their lives. And fatherlessness, finding those men and boys, finding a place and something for them to do is critical. So what is it that's going to get the boys interested? Just inviting them into a Sunday school class or a Wednesday Bible study or, a random event? No. What about inviting them into something like fishing, catching a fish? Have you ever met a boy that didn't raise his hand and say, I want to go fishing? Something that's extreme, an extreme element to it, like shooting sports. But invite them into something, and that's why we use the outdoors. And also the outdoors, it's physically, boys need to get outside and move their bodies. We know that today boys aren't going outside. They're spending 70 hours a week in front of a screen, and they need to be outside moving their bodies. That's one reason why they get medicated to the nth degree is because they're told to sit still, and they're not designed that way. We know that. And then the outdoor industry, if you're a hunting and fishing guy, you know that the average hunter's in his late 50s. And so the next generation is not being trained. So with this program, we're able to train the boys in outdoor skills, how to use a fishing pole, how to use a rifle, how to clean a deer, how to hike, camp, all those things that they need to know if they're going to become good stewards of the outdoors. And the next generation of hunters, fishers, outdoorsmen. M would be mentoring, fatherless, outdoors mentoring. So we know the statistics. If a boy is fatherless, the chance of him going to jail, get a girl pregnant, dropping out of school, all those statistics are easy to find. You probably have them in your material. But we have found that mentoring needs to be a regular event. So ours is one Saturday a month. The study was done that a minimum of 4 hours a month will change the trajectory of a boy. And so if we're doing one Saturday morning a month from 8 to noon, 8 to 1, we're getting the 4 hours that we need plus some. And then what happens is, so the reverse engineering part on this is men fall in love with the activities with the boys. They're not overwhelmed with the idea of one Saturday a month, but they fall in love with the mentoring and they fall in love with the boys. And so they start planning additional campouts, trips to the river to go kayaking or canoeing, hunting trips, fishing trips. And but they're doing it from their hearts. So they're mentoring with the right part, the part that comes from their heart. They're led by their heart, which is what you want from a mentor. You don't want it to be an assignment. You want it to be from their heart. And then lastly, Jesus. John chapter 21, Jesus comes back. And he forgives Peter around the fire on the side of the lake. The guys have been out fishing. They don't catch anything. They come in, they row in. He's there. He forgives Peter. And so the thought was, why did Jesus say his final goodbyes to his closest friends on the side of that lake around a campfire at sunrise? And that's because he'd spent the last 3 years with this men, and every night they'd camp out. Every night, every morning they'd wake up to the sunrise with the guy who created the stars above and the sun itself. And so the idea was, well, if that's what he did and that's where he chose to spend most of his time with his guys, why don't we do that? How come we don't do that in the church? We tell guys to meet over here at Thursday morning at 6 a.m. instead of, Saturday morning at the rifle range, or go do a camp out or go do a hiking trip. So we really believe that Jesus' model used the outdoors. And so FOMJ, our program, has these basic tools that are so healthy in so many different areas. And I would challenge you to have it include in your ministry culturally healthy things, physically healthy things, and things that can be defined like FOMJ. So that's our KOZ model. If we can help in any way, if there's anything with how we've scaled the program, how we operate, what our curriculum looks like, we'd love to offer that to our friends out there. You can go to kidsoutdoorzone.com, kidsoutdoorzone.com, and get all the information on KOZ, or just hit info@kidsoutdoorzone.com and we'll reply back and help you do ministry.